That's what we do, man's on the grind, that's what we do. Ain't gonna stop, evolving our game on a daily basis. Stay on the top of the game, make a statement, in for the win. We ain't gonna lose, the grind don't stop, but I need your boost, I'll see you at the top.
Welcome to the Evolve Your Game podcast. I'm Alistair Collins and this is Dan Van, and together we are Evolution Sports Coaching and ACK Rugby. We are passionate about sport and have 30 years combined experience in the industry. On this podcast, we will explore mental skills and strategies that will help you perform at your best in both sport and in life. Whether you're a professional athlete, coach, or someone looking to improve their game, this show is for you. Each week, we will bring on expert guests who will share their knowledge, experiences, and advice. So dial in and take your game to the next level.
How are you, mate?
Going
What's
well.
been happening this week?
Not too much this week, been pretty casual heading into obviously Christmas New Year period. We had obviously Academy Monday, Tuesday, and then I've been doing my, I call it nannying type job with Ben and Lewis in the mornings, and that's a few trainings in between there too, so happy days, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty similar. We had the academy earlier in the week, a few one-on-ones, just winding up. Now we're trying to get this sorted for the potty, so bit of a lunch, bit of planning, and now we're filming, so pretty excited to get this started. So
We're here. Happy days.
yeah. Oh, cool, so we'll just start by introducing ourselves. So we'll start with Alistair. Alistair, probably going back a good 9, 10 almost years now. First client, if not the very first, one of the first, when we first started Evolution Sports. We were at a winter training session with Canterbury Cricket, and there's a young keen battler down there, down the 15s, Andrew Reid and I, taking the session, and I just sort of had a think, I thought this guy had something about him, and I was like, I wonder if he'll be a good client. So I asked him out and asked him if he wanted to come along and do some sessions.
It's all good business, mate.
And I think 10 years later, now we're working together, which is pretty cool. So yeah, pretty proud of where you come from, mate. You got yourself into the first 11. You played senior cricket for Saints. Now you're cracking it in footy as well. You had a pretty epic 2022 as well. So yeah, pretty proud of where you've come, mate. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, love to. Obviously, I'm Alistair, ACK Rugby, and as well, which is a small business of mine, as most people tuning in should know about. Hopefully they don't. If they don't, give it a Google or Instagram. And yeah, like Dan said, stumbled across Daniel during the winter training, however many years ago it was now, and yeah, rough around the edges as a cricketer, and then obviously had the privilege of being a part of your initial academy and was a foundation member of that. And as we moved forward, I played first 11 cricket at St Andrews College, and then was fortunate enough to get a Lincoln Uni scholarship for cricket for the first 2 years of uni, and then a wee injury happened, and that's all right, and that's part of sport. So it was during that time as well I started working at the very academy I was a foundation member of, and I've been working for Daniel ever since. Currently I'm playing all my sport out in Darfield, which is 40 k's west of Christchurch, and in 2022 I've been really fortunate to have won the Fulton Wright Cup, which is the Canterbury Country Cricket competition, and the Coleman Shield, which is the Ellesmere Rugby competition for Darfield. So I absolutely love the place and adore the people that surround me out there, and it's my wee sporting hub, and also play a bit of Canterbury Country Cricket now as well. So it's been good.
Some people would call you a recovering cricket nuffy, and now probably genuine rugby nuffy.
Yeah. I still enjoy my cricket. I went through a period where it wasn't that enjoyable for me anymore, and obviously the only thing I liked about it was coaching it and working for you, and then we've sort of come right again. We've done the full circle, and we're
Playing Saturday, Sunday every week.
We're playing Saturday, Sundays again every week, and it's an enjoyable process again because it's a challenge, and I'm there for that again. So it's been good. It's been good. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll just introduce Dan now to all of you. So Dan, he's travelled the world with the sport of cricket. He's won World Cups. He's a primary school teacher. Does some relieving still. He is a proud business owner of the Evolution Sports Coaching brand, and has played over 400 senior games for Sumner, as well as winning many club championships in the mix as well. So have I missed much out there?
No, they've covered a few, but stole my thunder. It has been, so cricket's been pretty good to me, to be honest. I think when I first started as a player, I was sort of a bit of a battler. They used to call me the specialist fielder. I used to bat 11 and bowl very infrequently, unless we were really winning the games. I managed to sort of do my craft and get into the first team and start contributing regularly. And now I guess I'm the old fox in the team, but still battling away and scoring a few runs and taking a few wickets. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. But yeah, the indoor cricket as well has taken opportunity to play for New Zealand just before COVID, which is pretty cool. So we got to play in that World Cup in Cape Town, and took that out, which was pretty epic bunch of guys actually. And so still just doing a little bit of teaching, but this is as you and I both, which starting to really commit to our craft and start making sport and coaching our full time.
So, Dan, why are we coming into this podcast space?
Yeah, I mean, both of us love our podcasts. We listen to them pretty much every time we're in the car or we're out at the gym or whatever we're doing. So, also love sport. And we also love talking to people. So, it makes it a pretty easy thing to get into. And I think also a great opportunity for us to learn off some pretty cool athletes and coaches and network and also help promote our brands as well. So I don't know, but what about you? What was your thoughts?
Yep, bang on. All the above from you, and I think something that it'll really do for us is get us closer on a more regular basis with our clients. There's only so many hours in a day that we can provide help or benefit to our clients. So it'll give us another form of community, give us a form of community amongst our clients and allow us to connect with them, say just before they're going to bed or when they're at the gym or even while they're in the class studying and stuff like that. So it's really important to allow us to hop in that way. And yeah, obviously just a massive fan of sport, and there's some cool people we've been networked up with already, having the experience in the industry. So looking forward to chatting to them and obviously learning, growing and carrying on from there.
Yeah, it'll be good personal development for us too. So yeah, we've got some pretty cool guests lined up, so I won't tell them yet, but watch this space.
Watch this space.
Okay, pretty important member of the crew that we haven't introduced yet. So Dominic Hasselberg, another long-term client, which is pretty cool. One thing I do love about Evolution Sports is we do keep our community close by, and we, if they do, go past the coaching side of things, then sometimes we bring them into the becoming coaches. Or in this case, Dom's going to help us out with some behind-the-scenes stuff, which Alistair will talk about in a minute. But Dom's been pretty cool. He's I think 5 years ago we linked up when he was probably year 7, something like that, year 7 at Horsell Cricket Club. And we did lots of one-on-ones, we did some academy stuff, and then he's now moved on to play senior cricket for Sumner, so he's in our second team, and pretty proud of where you've come, mate. Not just as a cricketer, but as a person. You've definitely grown, and you're a confident young man, and you know where you're about. He's got 2 jobs on the go now, and he's left school, and he's away sailing, so tell us about what his role's going to be.
Yeah, look, I know about a year ago I looked into the podcast space and thought, oh my goodness, there is the talking part of things and the video part of things is very simple. little did I know what actually happens behind the scenes, the editing, the audio editing. There's all sorts of words for it that Dom knows inside out, and Dan and I have had discussions to him and looked at each other with absolute fairies in our brains, and Dom's sitting there still talking away. So Dom's our editor, he does absolutely everything, and quite frankly, without him, this would not be a possibility. He's the reason we're here today and the reason we're allowed to get out here and provide you all with the content you want. So I've also had the privilege of coaching Dom, and he's a fantastic young cricketer and is a very coachable young man. And I've certainly enjoyed my time with Dom. So we'll bring him in now. Dom, come on in and tell us a bit more about yourself.
Sweet.
Get in the middle here.
Get in the middle. Alrighty, yeah, so thank you guys, appreciate that. As Dan was saying, I started probably about 5 years ago, and I was quite shy, probably a bit inside my shell. Since then, we've popped out. So the opportunities that have come just through sports, cricket, and kind of work life, and other opportunities as well, just because of the confidence, the coaching and mental skills these two have given me. It's insane, it's life-changing. Probably a very different person they would have been if I didn't start training. Probably a lot more, I'd like to say, successful of a person. And yeah, I've got big things ahead, I hope, and thanks to these two here.
You do. Yeah. No hope, there's no hope.
Yeah, so in terms of content we're going to be bringing up in our podcast, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think that especially both of us have a real passion for the mental side of the game. So one thing I really want to talk to our guests about is, you know, what the struggles they've had and how they overcome it, because we all know, you know, we see all the stuff that's, you know, above the surface. So below the surface stuff is probably the stuff that's going to really help our young athletes. And I know a lot of our clients battle with, you know, expectation and pressure and stuff from parents and social media and all that sort of stuff. So I think if they can understand that even the best in the world struggle with that, then it's actually fine to battle away with it. But also having some strategies and some tools, and we can hopefully provide those and share them with them, and then they'll become better players and also better humans. They'll be able to, their well-being will be better, confident, and they'll be able to just learn from everyone, and we'll pass on what we've got and our struggles we've had, and it'll be an interesting side of things. So yeah,
sounds good. Thanks, Dan. Another thing we'll get into is also we're going to make this for your sports nuffy. We love our sports, as we said, and we want to give you something and provide you guys with something that's a little bit different and bridges the gap between often professional sport and, you know, club sport. Certainly a lot of people in my area that I'd love to speak to and show their experiences, because they're, at the end of the day, they are still great leaders, they are still great athletes, they just haven't necessarily reached the same heights. So it's something that's still relative. They still need all the skills that professional athletes have, and they don't necessarily have the high level of sport.
So still leading the way, just at their level, right?
Just at their level. So I think bridging the gap to show that you can still be successful and there's still great leadership qualities, like world-class leadership qualities at all levels of sport, regardless of who you are. Yeah,
and I think you also hopefully provide a bit of insight into what sport can offer you off the field. You know, like things that for us, you know, the leadership, the confidence, the travel opportunities, the networking, you know, all those sort of things. And it would just be cool to share some stories from some cool people. So it won't be, you know, we want to make it fun and interesting. So yeah, it should be good. Thanks for listening to the Evolve Your Game podcast. Hope you've taken some insight and enjoyed what we had to offer today. Make sure you like and subscribe and share on your socials. Tag us. We always like to see who's listening. And we'll catch you back next week on the Evolve Your Game podcast.